Hey guys, this is going to be a review of the Comp-Tac Minotaur holster, also known as the MTAC. This is for my SIG P229. As you can see, it fits all rail models. It's right-handed, and it's 1.75-inch black standard clips for my wide belt. So when I was in the market for an inside the waistband holster, I was asking around, looking through my research, and it seemed that the best inside the waistband holsters was either this or the Crossbreed Super Tuck. So I went ahead and I went the Super Tuck route, and I really like the holster. It's amazing. The only thing that I don't like about it would be the Kydex, because you can't, the Kydex body, the fact that you can't swap it out. Not the Kydex itself, but the Kydex, you don't have that ability to swap out the bodies of the Kydex. So therefore, you can only buy one holster for one pistol. So if you want to buy a holster for different guns, you know, let's say you want one to have one for your Beretta, one for Smith & Wesson, one for your Ruger, so forth, you're gonna have to buy 3 holsters. So that adds up, and that's an incredibly expensive amount for holsters. So that's one thing I don't like about the Crossbreeds that I wish they could improve, and also the crosses on their clips that I wish they would take off or make optional at the very least. So those are the only 2 things I don't like about the Crossbreed. Other than that, it's a phenomenal holster. I recommend it to anybody. You know, when I got my new pistols, I was looking for other inside the waistband holsters to fit them. So this was a great chance for me to go ahead and try the Comp-Tac MTAC. And that was the case with my new SIG P229. I decided to go ahead and try one of these. Well, the result was that I was highly disappointed, and I was very upset. I'll explain why. But first of all, let me just say what I like about this holster. The only thing that I like about this holster is the fact that you can swap out the Kydex bodies. Meaning that if I wanted to wear my SIG P229 one day, I can have this. If I wanted to wear the Glock 23 in the afternoon or tomorrow, easy. I just unscrew these 2 screws here, take this out, and put it in the Glock body, the Kydex body, and there we go. We have another, we can go ahead and use another gun. The back of the leather is pretty much the same. All that's changed is the Kydex body. You don't have to spend 80 bucks to buy another holster entirely. All you gotta do is pay for the Kydex, a different Kydex body, and that's it. So it's very versatile. So the Crossbreed isn't like that, and that's what drew me to the Comp-Tac. You know, it's very versatile. So again, after hearing all these reviews, doing my research, watching all these videos on YouTube, seeing all the good stuff people have to say about it, all the advice that I got saying that it's a great holster, I went ahead and decided to try it out. But here are the negatives of the holster. These things I'm willing to overlook. The kicker comes at the end. I'll save it for the end. But these are things I can overlook in a holster, right? I can just look the other way. But one of the things is that you see these indentations of the rivets. Well, unlike the Crossbreed where it's flat, the rivets on the MTAC seem to be at an angle. So the very first day you wear this and you take it off, you'll see all these print marks on the back, like it's about to dig through the leather. And as you can see, when it digs through, it kind of makes this has this black coloring to it. So that was something I was concerned about. But again, I didn't see anyone. You can see how bad it is. I didn't see anyone say, "Oh, the rivets broke through the leather." I didn't read any reports about that, so that's okay. I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt. No problem. Another thing would be these polymer clips. These polymer clips, it's smooth on the inside, so there's nothing to prevent these from sliding all over the place on your belt. And the way I've done it is to kind of select a pair of pants that have belt loops in the right position to hold these kind of in place. So that way, if I have a belt loop here, it's not going to slide all the way out. It's going to stop at the belt loop. So that's another con for these plastic, the polymer clips. They have no grip, there's no traction. It's very easy for them to slide all over the place. With the crossbreed, you wear it. When you get out of the house, wear it for a while. You can after a while, you put your hand in the back or wherever on the side, you can tell that it's moved. But for the Comp-Tac, before you leave the house, by the time you get down, to the front door or walk by to the front door or get to your car, when you go back and just, feel, with the retention of the gun where it is, this thing will have slid across, several inches or wherever it has gone. So it's very easy to slide around. But again, no problem. It's something that I can perhaps do a mod for. Maybe go to Home Depot, Walmart, and buy some kind of some material I can stick in there. So again, I'm willing to overlook that. Another thing would be the fact that this part of the leather, you see how it's kind of frayed and coming apart. Now, by the way, I've only worn this for a couple of weeks, for a few weeks. And this happens because on the SIG you have the decocker and this thing comes out a little bit. So whenever you put this thing in, it catches the lip. You see that? And when you put it in, it kind of rubs against it. I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt and just kind of overlook this, just because I know on the Glock, when I had the extended magazine release on the crossbreed, it had the same issue. But this is the crossbreed that I used for my Glock 23, but as you can see, you don't see any fraying of any type whatsoever. It did get caught here, but it didn't have any fraying. But this, it did. But again, I said earlier, I'm willing to overlook it. But it's not looking good for Comp-Tac right now with all these cons building up. Especially when you have this wearing inside the waistband against your body. When you try to reholster this pistol after doing drills, what you have to do is push this part of the leather inside your body, so the SIG can slide in, or you have to just kind of wiggle your way into it and kind of position your gun in a weird angle to go in. But again, that's easier said than done, because when you got this thing sticking against your body, this thing's gonna want to come out. So it's kind of hard to do that. That's another problem. Another issue is on the Kydex for the crossbreed. You see how it's bolted down on both sides, right? It's very solid. On the Comp-Tac, you see all that open space. It's not. Okay. So what happens is when you have all this space in the leather, it's going to when you move around. You hear that? When this thing is the back or on the side, when you move around, because you got that extra space, that allows friction to occur between the leather and the Kydex, and it makes this squeaking noise. And this is after a few weeks of wearing it. You still get that noise when you kind of sit down and move around. So, and not exactly what you want to hear when when you're in a room talking with someone and the guy's looking at you like what the heck is going on in the back of your body. But you see, it's also opened, so it doesn't really give me that much confidence, just in case if these two screws come out. And the reason why I say that is because these are on the maximum height before they kind of get loose and wiggle out. Because this thing is just terrible in terms of holding the in terms of letting the gun in. That's what I'll cover next. But this is another part right here. It's just that it's let out all the way, just to let the gun in. If it's any lower, the gun will have a very difficult time getting in. So it's let out all the way. So you got all this open space. So what if this thing happens to come loose when you're moving around a lot, and after a few weeks of wearing this, perhaps it'll have moved. If that happens, you have all this space, open space here, and the gun can just drop through. Perhaps that's being a little paranoid, but even so, you got all that space, you just can't help but be a little worried about that. So it's another problem. But the biggest problem by far is how tight the retention is on this thing, and also how the Kydex will kind of give you a scare for your gun. And that's what I want to cover in part 2 of the Comp-Tac MTAC review.